How not to commit insurance fraud. Number 5. Just noticed it should be number 6, but I can't amend the title. No animals were hurt in the creation of this sub, though I might have fantasized about smacking the customer around the head a few times. This guy was making the most outrageous claim and seemed to think that because it was for travel insurance we wouldn't be able to check up on him. Amongst other things, he claimed he was in a near coma in a hospital in a foreign country. We already had grounds to believe it wasn't true. I am afraid the bank statements you provided don't actually confirm you paid the hospital £500. Caller, but they show I withdrew £500. Yes, in over a dozen transactions in this country and well overseas. Normally when people pay a large sum in cash they withdraw it in a single transaction. Small ones over a period of time tend to be for general purposes. But the bank transactions did provide some information on a different matter. Caller, yes, according to the information you gave me you were in a coma from the 1st to the 10th of August, but there was a cash withdrawal from your bank account on the 5th. Caller, oh, my friend came to visit me in hospital and needed to pay for the taxi, so I gave him my card. I have been able to check using a current map of the city, and the site of the cash machine used was 5 miles away from the hospital. Caller, he came to the hospital, get the card, went to the nearest cash machine, then came back to the hospital. So while you were seriously ill, in a coma in hospital, you had a friend visit you, but you were able to agree to loan him money to visit you by being able to get your bank card and give it to him with your PIN. He then goes back into the taxi, drives past several cash points to get some money. Then you drive back to the hospital. Caller, that is the truth. You have to believe me. No, we didn't pay the claim. General rule of thumb, assume everything will be checked. No, I don't want to pay €10. I want to pay 150. So this was a very short but memorable call. I work for ISP and I had a call from a customer. Nice guy and all, gave me his verification and then started to say that he has always such high bills from making phone calls to his family in another country. I looked it up and sure enough he was paying between 100 and 150 per month for his bill. Normal cost would be like 30, so he paid at least €70 extra for calls. I was like, oh okay, but we have a flat rate for international calls to X country. It's only €10. He answers with him, but could you make it 5? Quote, I could not since this is a fixed price, and I explained that to him but tried to tell him that well, 10 is better than 70. But he just said no thanks. Then I don't want it, and hung up. I had to take a few seconds there and tell the others about it. It was a Saturday and everything was kinda slow, and we are to this day dumbfounded why the fork he would rather pay every minute instead of just accepting the expensive flat rate. I wasn't even mad because he was perfectly nice and all, but still. Your order isn't here. Customer, hi, I have an order for an orange DRS, but haven't received the order and it was made a week ago. Could you check it? Sure. Could I have the order number? Oh, I don't have it. Internal grown well. Could I take the email and postcode? Email is long and complicated email. Postcode is postcode. Okay, just bear with me. Loads of orders come up, including 5 from last week. None of them are for an orange DRS. Hi there. Thanks for holding. So I can see multiple orders for last week, but none of them are for an orange DRS. I can also see that a couple of orders were started but not finished. Is it possible that the order didn't go through? But I made it. It's a DRS item number. None of your orders from the last week have that item. I'm going further back but I'm not seeing it there either. Could it have been made under a different email address? No, I only use this one. Well, as I can't see this order in the last few weeks, I will need the order number to be able to locate this. C, but I don't have that. Can't you check last month? I can, but you advised last week. C, well, I don't remember. This is ridiculous. Just let me explain it from my side. I am searching via your postcode and your email address for last week. As you advised, your orders from the last few weeks are all showing here and none of them have an orange DRS on it. All of those are showing as delivered. You have 2 attempted orders for that same week, but neither of those have gone through. Based on that information, I will need the order number and am unable to assist further without that. C. Well, this is ridiculous. Click. Sure. Expecting someone to give the information needed to help them is ridiculous. Sometimes you get phone calls. For backstory, I work in a technical support position as an upper-level tiered tech. Today I received a call from a guy, asking for assistance. I'm providing him help, and he launches into a quick explanation of how he was using our products. My company provides support for TVs and smart displays with touch screens, and he wanted to re-record his seminars for upload to YouTube. So, he gets into an absolutely crazy tangent about the subject that he has his doctorate on. I'm talking quantum computing and experimental math, new fields of math, quantum computing research, revolutionary stuff. If his research ever bears fruit in real-world applications. He's dropping names for people in the industry which he has hooked up with for professional development. I'm quickly Googling everything he is talking to me about. He is a college professor, so you can tell that he was well versed in the ability to explain his ideas and stuff. He told me that he leaves the heavy lifting to his grad students. In terms of the math equations, lol. So, 45 minutes later, I finally had to cut him short and be like, wow. This has all been amazingly interested. I feel like I'm doing myself a real disservice by steering this call into a close. But I've got my metrics to worry about. You know, quote, so I now have a new YouTube channel to watch. And it's right up my alley. In terms of the subject matter. Thankfully my call center isn't too heavily focused on metrics. And I know my AHT is low enough that his call isn't gonna kill me this month. Every once in a while you get those really fun and interesting callers that are just right there on your wavelength. I can't count all of the interesting subjects, movies, video games, etc. that I've picked up over the years, as I do my standard rapport building on the phone. Call center work can be absolutely soul-crushing, but I truly love the ability to make real connections with my callers. I want you to shop my proposal around to your managers. I bet they will love it. From my days in the collection department of a satellite TV service, prompted by another post. When setting up pre-authorized payments on a new account, one of the CSRs made a mistake with the checking account number. So for 15 months, some person doesn't notice that money is being taken from their account every month for a service that they're not subscribed to. By the time they realize this, we have charged them for $2,600. We apologized and promptly refunded the entire amount. So our customer, Dick, suddenly owes us $2,600. There is no record of him ever contacting us to ask why we are not charging him money for the service he's receiving. For 15 months, he has never paid us. Now, we know that we made the mistake. Someone calls to explain the situation and apologize. We tell him that we would like to set up a payment arrangement. We're not asking him to pay $2,600 at once. I would love to set up a payment arrangement, Dick says. I'm busy right now, so I'll call you back. Dick does not call us back. We have one agent dedicated to claims over $500. She calls Dick several times and documents every call. We continue to offer payment arrangements. Dick continues to say that he will call us back, and never does. After a month, I take over. I speak with Dick. He's too busy to set up an arrangement. He'll call me back. He doesn't call me back. Following our timelines, I downgrade his programming to the special bare minimum package we use on past due customers. And I still reach out to him, and he doesn't call. He has never made a payment. When it's time to disconnect the service, I do so. After more phone calls to him, he doesn't call back. He now owes us $2,700. When it's time to send him to a collection agency, I do so. Then he calls and leaves me a voicemail to call him back ASAP. I discuss this with my manager before I call him back. We decide that if Dick is cooperative and polite and sets up an arrangement, we'll forgive $700. If he's a dick but still sets up an arrangement, $500. I call Dick back, and he complains that he can't pay us $2,700 all at once, and is mad he was contacted by a collections agency. It has been 120 days since we discovered the mistake and first called him. I go over the notes on the claim from the last 120 days, about all of the contact attempts made, right up until he went to collections. Dick says that he has a proposal. He will pay us $700, and if we forgive the $2,000, he will be the most loyal customer ever and pay his bills on time from now on. I advise that is unacceptable. We gave him numerous opportunities to make an arrangement. I said we'll forgive $500 if he pays $2,200. He asks me to shop his proposal around to the managers and he'll call me back to see what they said. He thinks that they will accept his great idea. I tell him that we aren't going to accept it. He tells me to try it and ends the call. I go into my manager's office. I tell him what Dick has proposed, and we have a laugh at his audacity. He's the only manager in collections, and I don't escalate the proposal. Because come on. Dick calls me a week later, sounding eager for my update. I advise that if he pays us $2,200, we'll forgive $500. Then Dick is a dick and makes the usual threats to sue us. Go to the media, etc. Sure, go ahead and tell the media that you never paid us for 18 months of service and you think you're the victim. I checked on his account every now and then. He called once and asked that we send all future correspondence to his lawyer. I pass on that info to the collection agency. By the time I left the company, we had not collected anything from him. I guess you can't help me then. This happens all the time, but I'll use the call I just answered a few minutes ago as the example. For today's story, it's a pretty short one. Lady calls in asking why she can't copy one of her previous emails to just make a few changes. I explained to her that she's using our older email editor that we have since started to phase out. Lady, well, how do I make an email using the new one? In an annoyed tone. Me, you can just follow the same steps you took to get to the page you're on, but rather than choosing recent templates, you would just choose one of the standard templates. Those are all in the new editor. Lady, hold on, okay, slow down, we're not all as tech savvy as you. Underscore. She literally had to go one tab over to standard from recent, as I just explained. I explain the exact same thing again but slower and go on to mention that we do offer the option of having our designers create a custom template for them, although that does come at a cost. Lady, F******. Okay, so you can't help me then, right? Me, well, I did. I explained all the options you have. I'm not gonna go in and create the email for you. Lady, okay, well, thank you. Me, yup, hangs up. If anyone does a QA on that call, they'll probably hit me on that exit, but I don't care. I've heard it many times before, but this time just annoyed me more for some reason. Don't tell me I didn't help you just because you didn't like the answer.
Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe for more Reddit content.